quick walkthrough of 615 Northeast Clark Avenue in Battleground. This is a real quick review of the interior of the house and what we've noted so far. Referring to this as bedroom one, it's got a typical hollow door. The walls are painted with wallpaper up on top. Sliding window, the fan, light, wall heater and thermostat. We have one light switch next to the door, and then we have one duplex on each of the four walls. There's some cable and what looks to be like a phone jack at one point would have been in there. Closet is roughly, I don't remember, I don't have that written down. But there's no smoke detectors in here. The window's in decent shape, it's just really dirty. And the blinds are also in not too bad a shape. The floor is the same laminate throughout the house. And the walls are pretty banged up. There's some additional what looks to be either trim or could have been parts to a bed were left behind. Ceiling is popcorn, looks to be painted. Bedroom number two. Similar to the first bedroom, we have receptacles on each wall. The window is the same size. This one does not have any type of blinds. The same wall heater and thermostat, single light switch controlling a fan. Ceiling is textured popcorn, painted popcorn. The closet has these wire racks, and it has what appears to be the only crawl space access in the building. Bedroom number three is the master. Same as before, it has one receptacle per wall. On three of the walls. There's two on the exterior wall with the sliding door that goes out to the patio. One more there. Same flooring, same type of doors, same heater and thermostat. The closet is recessed. Wire racking, doors are missing. And the electrical panel is located in here. Also has cable outlet there. There is some discoloration on the ceiling. I suspect that to be a water leak, as we will see in other areas of the house. The single bathroom in the house has one tub with shower, three knobs for the controls, a single toilet, a single sink vanity. The flooring is a vinyl floor. Let me find my notes. It has one exhaust fan, one built-in heater, one light junction box, one receptacle, two single switches, the thermostat. Down below there are signs of water damage on the bottom of the cabinet. That appears to be an access point for a ground, probably to ground the plumbing. Plumbing is typical. This P-trap looks newer than the rest of the house, so it may have been replaced at some point after it was found to cause this damage. Typical hollow door. Ceiling is a light texture painted. Toilet seems to function, but not very well. Same with the sink and the faucet. Water does come out, but it doesn't seem to have a full range of motion and should be replaced and not reused. The hallway itself has 3 closets. A coat closet here in the beginning entry, or the beginning of the hallway. And then what appears to be some sort of storage closet, and then a linen closet at the end. Again, both with hollow doors. 2 lights run on 2 3-way switches. One here, one down between bedroom 1 and 2. And there is 1 receptacle in the hallway. What we will refer to as room 1 would be the main living space of the house, the front door being in there in the far corner. There are multiple receptacles around. I believe there's 2 on this wall, 2 on the wall here on the left. There are none on this wall. However, there is the large heater and thermostat for that. I'm not sure if this is a backup smoke alarm or an O2 sensor of some sort. This appears to be original to the house, but does not look to be functioning. The wiring is unplugged. Moving on to the kitchen. The kitchen is roughly 8 feet wide by 9 feet deep. Both the dishwasher and the stove have been installed with modifications to the cabinets. You can see some rough cuts down both sides of the existing cabinetry. The fridge opening is still original. You can tell by the Formica on this side. There is a separate receptacle for that. However, there is no water for ice or water dispensing. The other side of the fridge, or the other side of the kitchen, has standard cabinetry. The bottom of this cabinet for the main sink is completely missing and gone. Signs of water damage. There is no garbage disposal, nor is there electrical for garbage disposal or a dishwasher. This switch to the right of the sink controls the light that is above the sink. 1 telephone outlet. 1 light, the fan. What will be referred to as room 2 would be what would be the dining room. Measurements are from the end of the wall of the kitchen straight across, basically to the right side of that door, forming this kind of a rectangle shape. The heater is missing completely out of the unit. The wires are capped. The thermostat is right above it. We have 1 fan light, the double door to go to the back patio, and the door going to the garage. I have not done much measuring or investigating in the garage itself just because of the sheer amount that needs to be demoed before we can really determine what is supposed to be where. For example, right here, the hookup for the washer appears to be intact and not leaking. However, the power for it has a 6-way connector on it. This piece of wiring runs up, across, up into the ceiling, and is what controls and powers this light. I'm sorry, it runs to this switch, which then controls the light. So after these cabinets are removed, this workbench, this wall seems to be just here for the workbench. It doesn't seem to be structural in any way. Once that all comes out, as well as this wall, we can get a better idea of what needs to be back here. The water heater is relatively new. It's strapped in, it's electric. There's no real reason to change it or move it. It is plumbed to drain outside We'll have to inspect that during daylight hours to see if it goes all the way through the wall. There is debris above this ceiling, some items that the owner put up there. We may want to bid knocking all of this drywall down and finishing it. Maybe putting in a drop ladder for access if they want. It doesn't look in great condition right now. I don't know if it's worth saving versus just tearing it down and redoing it. I'm going to climb up this ladder and poke my head in the attic access. Attic has a lot of blown-in insulation. Just from the looks of it, it appears to be possibly original to the house. It doesn't look to be disturbed in any way, with the exception, and it may be hard to see, but at the bottom of this beam coming down, that area on the roof far away, that area is what I would assume is directly above the damaged ceiling in the living room. And if you can't tell from the video, it is distinctively darker than the rest of the plywood, indicating a water source. That would explain the damage to the ceiling down there. You can see in this first bay how the water starts kind of in the center, and then it progressively gets worse. Unfortunately, I can't get any closer to it, but yeah, you can see that it's much, much darker there than it is on either side. The other concern in the master bedroom is at the far corner of the house. We can't access it at this point, but there is definitely signs of some water damage, specifically there. Also, above the garage door opening, you can see a very distinct discoloration as you go down each of these bays from the peak to the bottom. What appears to be, and again I'm at a distance so I can't see it up close, but that looks to be very discolored and possibly the plywood separating from water damage. So that may need to be addressed. There is a section right there in the middle of the screen that also is very dark in color. This is the debris that's up here. This portion was insulated at some point. Not a bad idea, but that water damage definitely needs to be, needs to be addressed.